Hello and welcome to another review of a film that I've seen on Mubi. This time I'm reviewing the film Benedetta, directed by Paul Verhoeven. And the first thing to say is this is a Paul Verhoeven film. If you love Paul Verhoeven, you're going to like this film. If you don't like him, you're not going to like this film. I think for me, with a Paul Verhoeven film, you can expect in your face, over the top sex, violence and gore. I think what Verhoeven does, which I really like, is he takes a genre and he binges on it. So this is a binge on religious, ecstatic, spiritual drama, and thoroughly enjoyable. I think what you make of this film depends on what you bring to this film. I think it's a perfectly reasonable interpretation of this film to see it as completely blasphemous, disrespectful, kind of crossing a line in taste. But at the same time, I think it's also possible to interpret this film as being deeply spiritual, with deep meaning and levels of meaning. I must say that I tended towards the latter myself, but I think that actually what you could say is that both interpretations are correct. I think that's what you get with Verhoeven, kind of bad taste, but deep meaning. The film has a kind of epic quality to it. It's just fabulous. It's just entertaining from the start. And the acting is so good. The three main actresses, including Charlotte Rampling, who are just fantastic. And there's a few incredible scenes. There's one scene which I just ran back and watched several times, where Jesus saves Benedetta from some snakes that are attacking her, and it's Verhoeven at its best. It's completely over the top, but it's so dramatic, and I loved it. This film has the kind of central premise that, this is my interpretation, that I think that we are shown enough evidence that Benedetta is actually a saint, and she does have a direct connection to God. She can speak to God, and she can make things happen. But at the same time, this is about her being in a lesbian loving relationship, which is not inconsistent with the fact that she's completely given her life to God. And so I think that's what makes this film really interesting, because in terms of sex and sexuality, it's clearly not something that the church, traditional church teachings would approve of. But I think it's provocative and challenging and interesting. I think Benedetta's character makes sense. Overall, I absolutely loved this film. I do think it's Paul Verhoeven at his best. It's definitely ambiguous. And it's definitely in questionable taste, but that's why I love it, and I'll certainly be watching it again. I really highly recommend it. Next time I'll be reviewing the film Sycorax, directed by Lois Patino and Matthias Pinheiro. See you next time.